Yo, yo.
Yo, 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 yo. How are you doing, man?
Ah, not too bad. Bit busy day as usual. Looks like you guys have got a few things going on as well.
Oh my god, man. All the fucking drama, it's unbelievable. What do you think about the situation?
Jesus. I can tell you a story, actually. I just, full disclosure, by the way, because you know how I am. I like to be honest with people, even if it upsets them. I am part of a rival company, essentially. GameStation is one of the few groups on YouTube that's actually able to partner gaming channels. Those of you who've tried to partner a gaming channel on your own, maybe you've gotten a little email that said, oh, you can monetize your video, and then you suddenly realize actually you can't under terms of service. That's simply because it's a licensing thing, and there's only a certain number of companies that are essentially trusted by YouTube to put this stuff up and not screw around, yeah? So that's how it works. That's why Machinima, for the longest time, was the only company that could do this, which is why they're so freaking huge. And to be fair, Machinima's done a lot of good stuff in the past. They've produced some good quality content. They've got some good partners, of course, but they've had a few issues here and there. So when the game station was being set up in 2010, I got invites from Machinima to join them after I joined the game station. And they sent these invites out to pretty much everybody with a TGS banner on it, yeah? And it was several of these things. Like, you reject the first one, then they send you the second one that's slightly better, and then out to the third one, at which point I pointed out, no, I'm part of the game station, because I wanted to know what kind of offer they'd give me, just because, hey. And I said, I'm part of the game station, and also the spelling mistakes in your offer, so I'm not sure if I really want to accept it. So I corrected the spelling and then said, hey, you know, it's all good. But apparently they send out these form letters to everybody. It's exactly the same to everyone they send it out to. So it certainly seems a bit impersonal one way or the other. But they did a lot of nasty stuff early on when TGS was first forming. We ended up with the Optic guys, but then they ended up going back for whatever reason, and that's fine. You know, if they gave them a better offer, cool, no problem. But they were also putting out tweets and saying stuff like TGS is shady and TGS isn't legit and it's just a scam and things like that. I'm like, what the hell? I don't even know why they would do that. I guess they've been in a position where they can do what everyone else can't for ages, and then they felt threatened by it. And I also assume that's why the contracts are now the way that they are, because they don't want people leaving them for the other competing networks. Because right now, it's a really good time for gamers on YouTube. You've got all sorts of different companies that you can choose to partner with. You've got a choice, and you can negotiate for a better deal. Instead of the base deal with Machinima sucks. It's really bad. They make a ton of money off you. There are better deals available, but for the longest time, you couldn't shop around.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate they act like this, because competition breeds innovation, and it's so exciting to be in a competitive medium, to have to constantly push yourself to be better and better and better, and to bring gaming media to this point where everyone will respect it like a real form of media. They'd watch gaming videos like they'd watch the news or something on television. And it's weird that Machinima are, one, kind of trying to go that way, because they've just got like 30 million of funding from YouTube to produce TV quality stuff, and a lot of their stuff is really good. I mean, you saw the Mortal Kombat thing. It was great. Absolutely fantastic. And there's loads of great videos on there. But on the other side, they don't want anyone leaving them. They're not willing to compete on a business level. Why? Why is that?
Well, it's just crazy that I think it's even illegal. It's not enforceable, such a contract. You cannot.
Probably, yeah. I don't want to make a claim on it.
Mm.
I graduated law in the UK. That doesn't mean a damn thing to the US. So, but from everything I learned at law school, I'm thinking infinite contract, probably illegal. I don't know how US contract law is, but it's going to come down to somebody hiring a lawyer to figure this stuff out. I think, from what I've heard, I don't want to name names, but some Machinima channels already have, because they want to leave, and Machinima's saying no. So they've turned around and actually got themselves lawyers because they can afford it, and said, find a hole in this contract, and what, you know, is this an illegal contract? And if it is, if the contract terms aren't legal, the contract's null and void. It doesn't matter what you sign. People have this idea that if you put a signature on it, you're bound to it. No, you're not. If the contract terms weren't legit in the first place, then the contract's null and void. And you can say, well, you know, be careful. Don't be careful what you sign. But people aren't lawyers. This stuff is complicated. And it's really easy to be tricked, especially when you're a younger kind of guy who just wants to put your gaming videos out and make a little bit of money. It's exploitative.
Yeah, I think you make a very valid point. And when I saw Braindeadly's video that he got to the point where he just doesn't want to make any content anymore, I mean, like, it's one
It's
of
depressing.
It's just depressing, but because like the internet is such an open platform. I mean, with like what you see with like being threatened all the time. You got the SOPA, you got the PIPA bills and stuff, and then
Yep.
you like I think like having yeah, an open market and freedom is what brings in innovation and
It
makes
does.
us move forward. So yeah. It's just crazy that because it's not the first story. Like
It's not. No.
I've heard people signing stuff with that like, yeah, I've heard people that were streaming and making a living on Twitch signed a contract and then weren't allowed to stream anymore on Twitch, and while the YouTube streaming wasn't even up yet, and yeah, and they didn't even know that was the case. There is so many young people, young kids like yeah, trying to live their dream,
Of
and the
course.
moment they get such an offer they just jump on it, and then people throw arguments to them, yeah, you shouldn't have signed it. It's just crazy. And yeah, when Braindeadly said like, yeah, I made a mistake, I don't even think that like at his point in his situation he really made a mistake. I find it crazy that Machinima is enforcing those kind of contracts. I don't
They don't
understand
need
it.
to. That's the sad thing. How desperate can they be? They're a huge network that's just got 30 million from YouTube. They're already a big company, the biggest company. Like, TGS is so tiny in comparison. Like, you should have seen The Office. It was essentially a shed. You know, they've sorted it out now, but they started from fairly small roots. And it just seems to me like I don't expect everybody to get along. And I think this idea that every partner's kind of part of a brotherhood or whatever is BS. It's like, oh, well, why are you talking shit about partners and so on and so forth? It's like, because I don't know who you are. You know, it's like 5,000 sub Let's Play channel comes along and gets angsty with me. It's like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. You haven't earned my respect. Respect isn't worth anything unless you earn it anyway. But the point is that I just don't think that this kind of animosity is required, and it doesn't help anybody. Nobody is benefiting from this at all. We want this kind of media to be legit. It's not going to be legit from being overly litigious. It's not going to be legit from having all these scandals and drama and from trying to restrict competition through unfair business practice. That's not the way to do it.
I completely agree. I completely agree. There's nothing like I wonder what Mashima is gonna be doing because like I'm gonna leave them. I thought it was the best thing I could do because like
They'll most likely try and take you to court, but
no,
at the end
because
of the day,
because
you can fight them.
I have a different contract. I don't
Mm,
have a perpetual one. When I
yeah.
joined them, they really stated from the start that their policy was not taking people hostage, and that was against their the way they looked
Yeah,
at
yeah.
but with all the competition, they just changed their approach completely during like because there's so many. There's IGN, there is Curse, there is TGS,
Yep.
there's TGN.
TGN, yeah.
So yeah, they don't want gamers, yeah, to go away, and they want to keep their monopoly. And I think the they're just doing it in a very unprofessional way that I don't know how else to say it, and it's gonna backfire. I mean, it's already backfiring like crazy. I don't know why they
It's a
need.
ton of bad press, isn't it? For no reason, really. It's like Machinima can get new partners. There's rising partners all the time. It always happens. You see the meteoric rise of people really, really fast when they happen to jump on a particular bandwagon or whatever. Even when Happy Wheels started getting really good, you had some partners that rose to fame on the sole back of Happy Wheels. Minecraft was the same. Call of Duty's been the same for years. There'll be another game that comes along in a couple of months that gets viral popularity. It's not like getting new partners is difficult, but bad press, that just doesn't go away. You don't want that kind of thing, which is why I don't get it. It's like the guys that I've spoken to at Machinima seem entirely reasonable. You know, I love like inside gaming, for instance. I really get along with Adam, for instance. He's an awesome guy. There's some so good quality content going out on there. So what's going on behind the scenes and what's going on with the legal department that's making this kind of stuff happen? I really don't know.
The thing is, like, what's really scary is when Braindeadly brought it up. He actually, and that is the really scary thing in my opinion. Like, he was in the call with the six affiliate responsibles, and they were all intimidating him that it was enforceable and stuff. And that's something like I could see it as a screw up maybe from one guy that doesn't know what he's doing, but it's actually their stance to try and keep like to intimidate those young gamers to stay with them, and that is really like that is just scary because the thing
Hmm.
is that there is other networks that might be better for a World of Warcraft
Yeah, yeah.
content maker, And even if Machinima gives maybe a better CPM, if a website like MMO Champion can feature your content and you get like 100,000 more views, that's a lot of new subscribers that allows you to grow much faster with Mist of Pandaria and stuff coming out. And then like them saying like, sorry, you're with us forever. That is just, I think that is just, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, I just don't understand why they're doing that.
I don't think that's acceptable in any circumstance. I don't think we need to make excuses for them. Someone in that company made a decision that this was a good idea, and I think it's becoming abundantly clear that it's not, to the point where there's going to be so much outcry that they're going to say, I feel they're just going to say, look, we're going to cut our losses and say, okay, sorry, you know, we're going to back down from this kind of position. They can't keep it, surely. I mean, they're going to get into legal wranglings with people. They're going to get a ton of bad press. And I've said this time and again about YouTube, is that it's so, you can fall as quickly as you can rise on YouTube because there's so much competition. You put out gaming videos and you lose your reputation, that's it. You are done because 1,000,001 other people are doing what you're doing. Your reputation is everything in this business, which is why you've always got to be so honest and you've got to be forthright with everybody.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I really feel like when I saw the video, I really felt bad for him, and yeah, like I think they're gonna change their stance, because else it's gonna be all over the news, man. Like they cannot keep, like, this is not just one story. It's been happening over and over again, and yeah, like, yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's not a unique thing. I've seen it happening for months. I don't like getting involved because, as I've said before, and I'll keep reminding people, I'm in a position of bias because I am partnered with a competing company, which means that you should take everything I say with a pinch of salt. And I've had bad experiences with Machinima in the past. I've also had good experiences with Machinima in the past. It doesn't mean the entire company's rotten. It certainly doesn't mean the partners are rotten. It means that someone on the business side of things and not on the content creation side of things has done something bad. And
Yeah.
everyone else is now suffering as a result.
Yeah, I think the thing is, a lot of people like to be very black and white and go like on a Machinima bash
Oh, yeah,
bandwagon.
yeah.
Well, there is a lot of people that I also know from Machinima. They're really cool guys. Like, the content creators are also cool guys. It's
Yeah, of course.
important. It's important. But like, yeah, when you look at the reactions, people tend to really easily be very fundamental in their way they look at things. While it's not always black and white. It's always gray.
No, no.
So yeah, I think that that it's important for people to realize that we're not bashing anyone. Yeah, it's just like something in the legal department, like you say, is really screwed up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. It must be. I've had a few PMs from people. I don't want to reveal their names, but all I can say is that they're in a position where they would know these things. They've said to me that the way that the contract is worded, you essentially would have to know legalese. You would have to be able to understand this to find that it was permanent. It is so hidden within the contract.
Yeah.
It is not put forthright. It's not easy to understand. And come on, I mean, you're a 16-year-old kid that signs with Machinima. You can't afford a lawyer. Of course, come on, really? That's not going to happen, is it? So, again, it's the business side of things. People shouldn't target Machinima as an entire entity because it's simply not fair. There are so many more good people working for and with Machinima than there are the bad apples in the back rooms in the business side of things. Business is ugly. People need to realize that. It's really nasty. It's an ugly, ugly thing. But what we're talking about here is unfair competition, unfair business practices, and essentially exploiting teenagers and really restricting their freedom to actually go elsewhere and not willing to compete in this free market that we've got that stimulates innovation and competition and actually gives us this vibrant gaming media that we've seen grow up on YouTube over the past 5 years. And I personally don't want to see that end. I don't think any of us want to see that end. We want to see that grow into a really legitimate source of information. We want to see gaming get better, and this isn't helping. This is making it regress.
I really hope that Machinima is going to learn from this, because it's yeah, it's they're a business. They're going to lose a lot of money if they don't, and I think they're just going to learn from this, and it's going to make the gaming community better, because I think freedom and being able to just yeah, to just express yourself and be creative is so important. It's just a part of what makes the internet what it is, and all those business, like it's at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's always corporate business and money trying to take away and what is it called, like limit things. Like when you look at SOPA, when you look at PIPA, when you look at
Yeah, of
it's
course.
always the same thing. It's always the same damn thing. Like companies,
They
businesses.
don't want to play fair.
Yeah.
That's all that legislation has ever been, isn't it? SOPA is there because companies didn't want to play fair anymore. I said it in the video, and it's totally right, that they see this kind of media as a threat to them, and this was their intended way of holding it back, of trying to crush it. And honestly, if any company had the chance, they would have killed YouTube before it got as big as it could. And they've tried to do it with other things. They succeeded with stuff like Shoutcast Radio. That could have completely wiped normal radio off the map. It could have shaken the top 40 system and big labels to their core, but additions to the DMCA restricted Shoutcast Radio so it could never get huge. You know, you might look at it as big, but it's so much smaller than it should have been. It should have been massive, and it never got there because companies refuse to play fair, and they lobby and they essentially legislate, which they should never be able to do.
Yeah, indeed. I'm really happy that that you're such a strong fighter for the same cause, man. Like, I think, yeah, the world needs more people fighting and yeah, being a voice for those kind of things, because it's what allows us to sit here and being able to have a voice in the first place. If it wasn't for the freedom that we have, so yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Not to say that we don't have a vested interest in it. At the end of the day, this is how we make our money, so we're going to defend it one way or the other. But I think that it's nice to speak out every once in a while instead of just sitting there bringing in the ad revenue. It's really easy to say, well, you know what, I'm kind of happy with Machinima right now. I get my checks every month. Everything's fine. Well, it's today you, tomorrow me. You know, you've got to keep out for that kind of thing. You can't be selfish.
But it's really unfortunate when Machinima really doesn't play fair. Like I was thinking, imagine if Machinima was actually had a great conduct and set a great example in how they deal with that kind of stuff. If they were doing that, they wouldn't, like, their brand would just be utterly badass.
Oh yeah,
they would
untouchable.
Yeah, they would not just be the biggest one. They would have such an utter level of coolness on YouTube and on the internet. It would be incredible.
Rep matters. And the thing is, back in the day, that's exactly what they were. It was counterculture gaming video. To some extent, it still is. And of course, they've got to run a business. They've got employees to pay. I totally get that. But gamers have a tendency of getting really easily upset. And the last thing you want to do is provoke them. And this is a way to do it. They hate smelling corporate stuff. They despise it. Like, they'll call you a sellout. We've all been called sellouts. We get called sellouts every day, even though it doesn't make any sense. So imagine what a group like Machinima is being called, and the opinions of the people that then simply say, well, you know what, I'm just not going to watch Machinima videos anymore. And that's their lifeblood. That's where the money comes from.
Yeah. And we've been careful with that. I mean, as you say, these kinds of stories have been happening for a long time, and every time that we see them happen with people that we're personally involved with, we talk to Machinima personally, and we've been trying. We've told them so many times.
We've been in such like annoying position so many times, because, like you said, we have an interest because we're part of Machinima, and we've had a lot of double feelings because we've been approached by a lot of partners because they had problems, and we always try to fix them behind the scenes, and then when you see a good friend of you just leaving, not even leaving, just being powerless and stopping content, it's just like, yeah, what am I supposed to do? Like, it's really crazy to see how things can and I wonder how many people don't come out because Machinima is very effective in intimidating their partners when it comes to when it comes to pointing out to what they signed, because that's what they did with Braindeadly. And yeah, like, the only reason that Braindeadly put a video online is because he had nothing to lose anymore, because he was going to stop making content. So yeah, it's just crazy to see. It's
a terrible way to do business as well, because your content suffers. Like, the feel that I always got with TGS, and yeah, once again, bias, fully out there, full disclosure.
I don't mind, man. You don't have to say like it's a perfect opportunity to
yeah, exactly.
bring up
Let's
the
sing the praises
TGS.
of TGS for a second. Why not? I sing the praises of TGS on the basis that they've been trying for the past couple of years to make people feel like they're actually part of a community. They're not just signing a partnership contract, and they do things to try and promote their channels and to try and get everybody involved. And yeah, they've got their big core channels, certainly, but they do try to get the smaller guys involved and they give them the opportunity to promote themselves and things like that. And that's the way that you build great relationships and you build great collab opportunities and you create really engaging, friendly, awesome content. If people feel like they're in a hostile work environment, they're not going to work that way. They're not going to collaborate. They're not going to bring you in the big ticket views. They're not going to create these series that get runaway success.
I completely agree. Yeah. If it becomes all about the money, you lose the passion that you started making content, and then it's just GG. And I see it happening with a lot of big YouTubers that they started it with passion, and then it became just a drain and a job, and they just like lost their touch. And it's just crazy to see how you see that repeating so much, and companies like Machinima and the way they treat it and the way they try to what is it, like monetize? Is it monetize at all cost?
Monetize is the word, yeah.
Monetize at all cost.
Yeah.
It's not helping the YouTube community for sure. And I just hope that this kind of event will rather be a policy change than a bad thing, because I to be honest, I don't like drama. I don't like
Who does? Especially not this kind of drama. This isn't even the fun kind of drama, you know? If someone says some shit over Twitter and then starting an e-fight, then that's fine. But no, this is boring drama. This is contracts. This is legalese. I don't even understand half the words this drama's based around. So no, we don't want that.
At least people are enjoying the fact that we're just having a talk on Skype about
yeah,
this.
we really should do that more often.
Yeah, we should do that more often. It's something that people seem to really love, and like it's just. But yeah, it brings the people with the same, what do you say, same headed? No. What?
Same.
What's the word?
Outlook. Point of view.
The people with the same like way of looking at things together. So it's really cool. I'm really happy that you tweeted about it and brought it up, because like it's very like you say, it's very sensitive. People going like, yeah, this is a publicity stunt or whatever. Like
yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of angry tweets over the next few days. That's how it's gonna be.
But the thing is though that it's, I mean, the contract, it's and their like what they're doing is just wrong. I mean, it's not, like, to me, it's not a publicity stunt at all. And I know, like, you're the kind of guy that has the heart on the right place and fights about things like Sopa and Pipa. You're not doing this to get anything out of it either. Like, so yeah, I think I think all this is gonna come the gaming community good. It's gonna do more good than bad, even though it's very lame. But it's, at least it came to the surface now, and it can be treated. And yeah.
Yeah, exactly. People know about it, and YouTube stuff like this has always kind of been shrouded in secrecy, and most of it still is. You know, we shouldn't really talk about our earnings and all that other stuff, but. You know, I don't want to see Machinima destroyed or anything like that. I want Machinima to just legitimize the way that it does business with its partners, and don't treat people like they're suddenly enslaved for the rest of their life to do that, because it's just absurd. They don't need to. They've got the presence, they've got the money, they're still by far the largest network on YouTube. They don't need to treat people that way, and you know, it won't do them any good in the long run anyway, so why bother?
I completely agree with you, man. Like, I think we should do more stuff together, man. Like, whenever you have time. I think you're probably very. You just moved. Congratulations.
Yes.
For fixing your US situation.
Yeah, that took me long enough.
That was a lot of drama as well, like internal drama.
Jeez.
But yeah, it would be really awesome to do more stuff together. Like, I really like your stuff, and I like your style, and I'm really happy that you use also your following to bring awareness around things like Sopa and Pipa. That was really awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, man, I absolutely love your stuff as well. We can have a bit of a love fest with
Yay!
right? Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I ran into a dream hack. We didn't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Next
but,
time we
yeah.
have to go
Yeah.
like get a drink or something. But yeah, it's
Like-
just always very very extremely. Are you gonna go to E3 by the way?
Yeah, I should be at E3. I'm not sure in what capacity yet, because I've been offered a few different things that I can't really talk about, but I should be there, one way or the other.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Like maybe I'll be there as well, and if we'll be there, we definitely have to see what
Yeah,
we can
man.
do. So.
We can buy expensive hot dogs and horrible headache-inducing soda. It'll be wonderful. That's the US in a nutshell.
What I really like is you always say it how it is. Like you don't. Sometimes you say things that I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna create so much drama. But you just say it. I really love and respect you for that. So that's really cool.
Drama can be good for business, man. Unless, of course, it happens to be contracts. We don't want to talk about that. But anyway, guys, yeah, once again, thanks a lot for having me on. That's great. And
problem, man.
thanks for actually raising this issue and making sure people are aware of it. That's really cool. I'm still not 100% sure if it's a good idea for me to talk about it, but hey, I'll deal with the fallout now. I'm sure it'll be fine.
But yeah, I'll stay in touch, man. Like we certainly have. I got your Skype now. We certainly have to stay in touch. Keep it up, man. Thanks for your time and your.
No problem at all, man. Enjoy the rest of your show. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep being awesome.
See you, man.
Later, man.
Bye.